Morning. Welcome, everyone. We are live today. It is, oh, wait, we here on Tuesday already. Tuesday, y'alls. Listen, why we struggle to believe. I shall not keep you long this morning. Don't we always start by saying that, though? Oh, boy. I really can't keep you long this morning. But why do we struggle to believe? You see, it's not that we don't believe something, it's that we do believe something else. This is what it is. We believe something else. And the reason we struggle is because we're trying to push against what we want to change. Let me say that slowly. We try to push against what we do not like about ourselves instead of embracing what we do like. That's the difference. Because as humanity, I guess we find it easier to complain. Oh my God, why is this not working? As opposed to, I wonder what it would be like if this worked out. I might not know how it's going to work, but I'm excited to see what it's going to do to unfold itself. I am sure excited to see that. That's where you turn your attention. There's a saying that you put your energy into what you're building as opposed to what you're trying to demolish. Think about this for a moment. Even when you see a construction site and they have demolished the property, where's the focus? It's not on the demolishing, it's on the building of that property. Well, why are they tearing it down then, Angela? Because they're focused on what they want to build. The tear down is going to happen. It is inevitable for the tear down when you want to build something new, obviously. But the focus is not on the tearing down. The focus is on the build. It is much easier to be excited about what you're building than feeling the dread of what you must change. Again, it is far simpler with less resistance. Oh, but Angela, resistance isn't bad. Well, not when you're talking about electricity and friction and all of that. No, it's great. But you have to look at it in terms of where is it in your life that you want to change? Great. You see the problem now, right? Great. You see the problem. Then put your attention on implementing the solution. It all is a matter of where you put the attention. This is why we struggle when we want to believe. We're like, yeah, but I doubt this thing. I didn't ask you what you doubted. You see, when you put your attention upon the doubt, it becomes this mountain that you feel like you cannot climb over. You can't move that mountain in your mind's eye because it is comprised of all of the things you cannot tolerate. But what if you turn your attention towards? What if you turn your attention towards? Angela, I don't even like anything in life. There's nothing that I enjoy. Absolutely nothing. You know why you can tell me that? Because you spent the time exploring all the things you don't like, as opposed to what is it that you do like? If you take the time to look for what you do like, that is much more pleasurable than looking for the things that you dislike. Because when you look at the things you dislike, you become discouraged, thereby the struggle. Oh my God, I can't get through this. That's where it comes from, right? But here's the thing, whether or not anybody cares about what I have to say, well, if they care, they do. If they don't care, that's fine. If they do care, that's still fine. You want to know why? Because the principles show themselves in our daily lives. That is why. So where you put your attention on will either increase your struggle or decrease your struggle. So you've got to pay attention to what you're thinking about. Where is your attention? Is it on what you cannot do, what you cannot accomplish, what your roadblocks are? Who's standing in your way? Who's trying to hold you back? Is that your focus? Because if that is your focus, you're going to be struggling for a long time. But if your focus is, ooh, what am I good at? What can I develop within myself that is positive? What can I develop within myself that I believe about me? If you turn your attention there, you will find that you are being pulled along in that direction, and you start to get different ideas regarding those things that you like about yourself, how to express yourself better. It works in the exact same direction. If you put your attention upon all the things that you don't like, well, then those are the things you will discover. So it doesn't matter where you put your attention. What matters is, what do you want to experience from the attention? You want to complain? You want to struggle? Or you want ease? Well, you're going to put your attention somewhere, because that is our design. We have to put our attention somewhere. So the choice is simple, in my opinion. I don't like to give my opinion, but today I will say the choice is simpler. When you refer to Deuteronomy 28, oh my God, here she goes with scripture again. I'm not telling you scripture because I want to convince you of the reality of scripture. I'm telling you scripture because scripture is based on law. Scripture is based on the 7 principles of creation. So Deuteronomy 28 tells you, I put before you life and death. Choose life, though. Choose life is what it says. Choose life. But where is life? Life is, what am I good at? What can I do? You see, we are always going to encounter things in the world, because we are. We shall encounter situations and things. But there's one thing that protects you, that keeps you sane, that keeps you strong, that keeps you focused. And that is the principles. Especially, clearly, it seems to me that mine is as within, so without, as above, so below. It continually tells you that what you hold inside is what you will experience. So all you get to do is to check yourself. What do I have inside? That's the thing you're focused on. You keep talking about it all the time. You keep ruminating about it all the time. But Angela, I don't know how that's going to get me a promotion. Angela, I don't know how it's going to get me more money in the bank. Simple. Here's how you apply it. Step 1. What do you want to become? That's a different question from what do you want? Because if I ask you what you want, you can list all the things you want. Those are inanimate things that you want. But if I ask you what you want to become, I'm asking you, what virtue are you willing to pour your essence into so that you become it? Which means you get to be involved in what it is you are doing so that you will realize what you've become. Well, Angela, I want to become wealthy so I don't have to worry about bills. Well, that's a great place to start. Here's how you do it. What is a virtue of wealth? A feeling of security, a feeling of ease, a feeling of peacefulness. You doubt me? The wealthy man is not worried about his bills because they are on automatic withdrawal. He doesn't have to worry about bills. He's not worried. So the virtue of wealth is no worry. Yeah, well, that doesn't make any sense to me, Angela, because they still have worries. Everybody has worries because we all have things. But when you're talking about wealth, they don't fret. You know where their thoughts are? Where am I going to invest next? So you see, there's a level of security. So security is a virtue that you must develop within. When you have security within, you will see in the exterior experiences where you are secure. It's the same for insecurity. If you're insecure in a particular area, you will see where you are insecure. Now, here's why I asked you for step one, what do you want to become? So if you want to become secure, start to sit there and feel, what does security feel like? If you're going to become this thing, you have to know what it is. You can't know what money feels like, but you know what security feels like. That's why I say you do not put the hope in something that is inanimate, because it makes no sense to you. You can't, it's just a thing. But when you become the essence of that thing, well, then the thing shows up, because as within, so without. So the essence of security is what you want to foster and become within yourself. You want to become a secure person. How does one become secure? Ah, we become secure by recognizing what it is we hold. And what do we hold? The principles. The principles tell you what you have within is what you will experience without. Let me say it another way that you will truly understand. A man must reap what he has sown. If you get up in the spring and you plant carrots, in the summer you will get beets. No, you will get carrots. If you plant a good attitude, you will reap the attitude of those experiences, because the two will always have to match. So that is where your security is. If I do this, I know that this happens. If I plant this attitude, I know that this experience happens. So security comes from in the knowing. Security comes from in the knowing of what? What you say you want to become. That is step one. What do you want to become? Identify it. Take your time. As Daddy always says, you rush the brush, you waste the paint. So take your time to say to yourself and understand what you want to become. And once you've made that decision, that is a seed that you have planted. And because you have planted that seed by acknowledging what you want to become, you have no choice but to become it. Oh, but I have free will to choose. But corn only expresses itself in one way. That's how when you look at it, you know it's corn. You say, that's what corn looks like. That's what beets grow like. That's what carrots grow like. Well, this is what security grows like. How else would you know it's security if it did not show itself as what it is? As within the seed, so must the fruit be. So this is why it is imperative that you know what you want to become. You do not convolute what you want to become by tossing in the opinions of your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your preacher, your teacher. Don't toss those things in there, because everybody will give you their opinion and tell you why they think you can't do something or why they think you should. Like I'm trying to do this morning, but I'm doing it from a completely different place. The principles of creation. They tell you what you can accomplish. Become it. Which means, because you can't become $100 bill, but you can become the virtue of what the $100 bill represents. Secure. Okay? Even if you burn up the $100 bill like they had to do back in Germany when it was cold, they had to burn cash money to stay warm. They had to burn cash money to stay warm, y'all. So if you burn up the money, are you going to lose your security? Or is it the security that allows you to recreate? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend. So that is step one. Step two, as you begin to identify yourself as what you want to become, you begin to see it or hear it or feel it in your body. You either see in your imagination what you've become, meaning what would you do if you were secure? You'd begin to see those behaviors in your mind's eye. You'd begin to hear your inner conversations change to match your security. Well, then, that is step two. Begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were secure. Because the more you practice security, well, you know what happens when we practice, right? We become what we practice. Oh, man becomes what he contemplates, right? So you begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you had become that thing. Step three, it'll make you feel in your body and say to yourself one of two things. Man, this is foolishness. This kind of thing don't work. That sounds like witchcraft to me. I gotta pray. I gotta trust Jesus. You'll either hear that, shoot, you might not even say Jesus. You might say, that's foolishness. That stuff don't work. Talk about what's inside is what you gotta experience on the outside. I've never heard such hogwash in my life. Or you will say to yourself, you know what? I'm curious to see how this thing turns out. Because I do see the evidence of it in the garden, you know. So what if I change my attitude to match the experience? Because listen, I'm a piece of corn today. I'm a kernel of corn. And I'm going to plant this myself. Well, then I can only get corn. So what is my attitude today? I will persistently be this attitude because I want to see what it brings. You know what? I just want to prove that she might be wrong. Because that's what some people do. And that's all right. But you see, that inner conversation will rise in step three and tell you what you believe. And it will show you where you struggle. You think that things are hidden from you, but they aren't. The moment you begin to have an inner conversation with yourself, you are showing and telling yourself what you hold to be true and how long you've been holding it and why you don't want to let it go. You tell yourself all of that within split seconds. So step one, determine who you want to become. Step two, begin to experience in imagination what you would experience in reality if you became it. And step three, immerse yourself in that feeling that emerges from you. Because that's what we do. We either immerse ourselves in the doubt of its existence, or we immerse ourselves in the truth of the existence. And whichever way you immerse yourself, well, that is how the thing will unfold. That is what will unfold for you. So how am I supposed to practice that, Angela? Select an attitude. Just one attitude. Select one. Good, bad, or indifferent, I don't care. Just select one attitude and go through the day with it persistently. The difference between today and all the other days is that you didn't choose your attitude. Your habit chose your attitude because you've always done it. But today, to be deliberate, select the attitude you want to walk through today with. Just select the attitude you want to walk through today with. And walk through today with that attitude. Because this is how one practices. But as you go through this day with the attitude that you have chosen, watch what happens. Watch. Just, that's all you'll be able to do anyway. Because the attitude that you select has a pattern of how it unfolds. So that anybody who walks along or anybody who knows you, you might not have to say a single word, but they'll be able to tell you your attitude. And you didn't open your mouth to say, well, I'm walking with a positive attitude today. You don't have to say that. You don't have to open your mouth to say I'm walking with a negative attitude. Nah, as within, so without, because they will see it. You just get to just try it. A hypothesis is a theory you can test. Thank you, Buddy the dinosaur. So test the hypothesis for yourself. Scripture tells you to test me. Now, don't pull what my grandmother would say. Don't you test my spirit today. Don't you test me, because I'll show you what God you're serving. That's what she would always say. Scared me, let me tell you. But today, test it for yourself. Test yourself. What attitude can I hold on to today? This is why I'm saying to you, choose an attitude that you don't have to force yourself to hold on to. Choose an attitude that is beautiful for you. You know what that attitude is. Just put it on like a hat. Put it on like shoes. But you'll notice that attitude is imaginary. Because why is it imaginary? Because you are the only one who knows exactly which attitude you have chosen. I don't know yet. But I am telling you, from this experiment, you will notice many things. You will notice that your attitude does not remain invisible. You will choose it, sure, but you will begin to see the evidence of it, and so will those around you. I've heard many people say, ooh, you got up and you chose violence today. That's the attitude. You got up and you decided to be argumentative. Probably because you went to bed argumentative, but that's a different day. So we tend to struggle unnecessarily because we push against instead of embracing. But aren't you doing the same thing? Nope. You're not doing the same thing at all. When you embrace something, oh, you want to be there, don't you? How many times have you had a hug and you just didn't want to let go? Oh, yes. See what I'm saying? When you embrace that thing, you want to remain in its presence. Nobody has to force you to do it, thus you don't have to struggle. But when you push against the thing, you fight against, I don't want to be here no more. Now it becomes a chore. Now it becomes work. Now it becomes a struggle. So choose this day whom you will serve. What attitude will you select today? I'm not going to keep you. I'm going to get the chime. You might not get chicken this morning because, well, he's asleep. I left him asleep upstairs. So he won't crow just yet. But as I play the chime this morning, well, the chime plays itself. I just hold it. As the chime plays this morning, gently select your attitude. Select one that you can, it's like your favorite underwear, like your favorite socks. You want to put them on. You notice why I chose socks and underwear, right? Because nobody sees them. But you know they're there. All anybody can come along and say, oh, you're doing something that you like today. That's all they can say. Well, you're doing something that you like. And deep down, you know that's right. These are my drawers. These are my socks. These are my favorite things. Right? So when you hear the chime this morning, not only let it help you to relax, but choose the attitude that is easy. Oh, but Angela, shouldn't you choose things that are hard and that's how you'll grow? Because we think growth is struggle. If you do the thing by selecting the attitude that is easy, do you notice what you do for yourself? You show yourself that you have the capacity to change. Thereby, the next time you want to grow and change, what will you do? You won't struggle because you will understand the futility of struggle. We've been programmed to think that struggle is where you prove your mettle. No, you prove to yourself what you are capable of when you have practiced and you see how easy it has become for you to do. But let me stop because I got to make breakfast for my boy. So choose your attitude and commit to your attitude, and you will notice, but this day is beautiful, isn't it? And when you fall asleep in that same attitude and get up and do it again tomorrow because you're testing your hypothesis. Joanne, welcome to the space. Welcome. For those of you on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, thank you for being here this morning. For those of you who've made yourselves known in the chat, ooh, and some of you have made yourselves known, haven't you? Indeed, you have. I see you, nonetheless. Twitter, well, Twitter is as Twitter is. Fanbase, Yolanda. Hello, Casey. Ray Ray, Miss Miriam, Honey, Burnt Skillet, Moon, and Dolphin Duck, my resident Scotch bonnet, Flo Smiles, Oracle Treehouse. Yes, that's you, Miss McQueen. Yes, I know. I see you all. Let me pop into the chat real quick. Well, yes, and that's the beautiful thing, right? We stay clear of that nonsense, but we don't have to stay clear by resisting them. We run parallel to them, like two oceans that do not mix. We can run parallel, we just don't have to engage, right? Yes, always with the light of understanding. Mm-hmm. Oh, burnt skillet, you said it right there. In the world, but not of it. Duh. You see? When you truly comprehend that you're in the world, yes, but your mind is not of it. You no longer think in that fashion. So, on this beautiful day, go forth, my lovely, lovely friends. Select your attitude and walk in it persistently. See how long you can walk in it and how many times you can walk in it today. And you know I'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be reading Neville Goddard. I do believe we are on chapter 5. I don't remember what chapter 5 is, but you know it'll be lit. So if you want to be here for that tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Fanbase. Oh, much love, Twitter. Twitter is closed. Much love, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. You closed too.